Good morning and welcome to Caring for Me, Caring for You, a thought and a prayer for the week. I'm Greg Johnson, and I want to thank you for being with me on this Sunday morning and our thought for this coming week. There has been so much negativity, so much constant, constant barraging in the news that one of the things that I have found this week, I have found so many, many people who have called me, people who have with whom I deal regularly, people that I have been at meetings with, simply finding it so difficult to stay in the moment, to stay in this very moment, to take life as one day at a time, or sometimes 1 minute at a time. And yet those are the gifts we have, because we can choose our thoughts. Now, one of the things that I've been doing is very much limiting the amount of time that I spend on social media, because there are so many wild posts that are simply there to get attention and to get people stirred up in ways that have no validity, have no truth, and it becomes just absolutely overwhelming. It reminds me, in the world of family caregiving, very much of how all of us, at times can react when a diagnosis is part of the care plan. When someone suddenly is given a diagnosis, not even perhaps given yet even to the care recipient, but to the caregivers. And I've seen it again and again, and I know it's just human nature. We hear a diagnosis and we're planning the funeral. I have seen that again and again. That's not how it goes, because there are many steps in life. Also, we don't know what that story is supposed to be. All we know today is this is the diagnosis that learned people have given to us regarding the one for whom we're caring and for whom we love. That is all that we know. And to suddenly jump way to something called the funeral is only to cause yourself and everyone else a great deal of trouble. Now, first of all, and this is important to remember, not all family caregiving ends in the death of the care recipient. In many cases, the care recipient responds, recovers, and goes on to live an incredible life of being a caregiver for someone else. So don't let us jump. But it is a natural reaction. It's out of fear. It's, oh, mercy, what's coming next? Oh, God, help us. Well, the strength is within us. And this becomes one of those times, once again, when we need to simply be still and hear the words, be still and know that I am God. We don't know God's plan and God's story. What we do know is we are in a situation that we are very concerned about. But we are taking steps, and that includes getting a diagnosis. A diagnosis is not the end. It is a part of the path in the curing. Remember, we are the caregivers. Ours is to accept what's happening right now, not make a judgment about it. This is what's happening. How can I be helpful in this set of circumstances? And then we take the next step. Now, there's a number of ways. We've talked about different types of meditations, but this week, on two occasions where I was talking to someone with whom I do some spiritual direction, each of them for very different reasons, was just beyond themselves. And I needed to bring them back to this very moment. And it's something I've used with myself. Now, I don't always use the entire process, though I'm going to share it with you. If you feel at any given moment that this is just beyond you, you don't know where you're going, what am I doing, where am I, and you're just all over the place, or someone with whom you're working, caring for, begins to get just beyond wildness, say, stop. Stop for just a moment. Look around, right where you are. Look around and tell me 5 things that you see. The lamp, the glass of water, the printer, the cane, the pencils. What are 4 things you can touch? My glasses. Maybe they'll stay in place. The pen, the paper, the computer. 3 things I can hear. The air conditioner and the fan. Right at this moment, no, but normally the traffic and the sirens going up 8th Avenue. And just the wind blowing. What are 2 things I could smell? Well, I just put on some cologne. I can still smell it. And I've got a wonderful cup of coffee over here. And what could I taste? I'll taste that coffee. This is known as the centering technique, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I don't know about you, but in just doing it with you, I have centered myself right into this wonderful conversation that I'm blessed to have with each and every one of you. So remember it. Centering, 5 things we can see, 4 that we can touch, 3 we can hear, 2 smell, and 1 taste. And then we'll take a deep breath and be right where we need to be. Whenever I think of this, I think of a very dear friend of mine, Reverend Cynthia Burke. She's done so many, many wonderful things, but she was one of the founders of Friends Indeed. And when she would speak about dealing with upset and difficult times, and everybody is just going crazy with what's all going on, she would say, now let's just take a deep breath. Now look around. Nobody's hair is on fire. Okay, we're safe this minute. Now let's walk into the next. And I often think of that. No one's hair is on fire. Cynthia, I love you for that. And I have used it with me to remind myself, yes, this may be scary. This may be frightening. Yes, there are all sorts of things coming out of Washington that are extremely frightful. There are things that are financially frightful, things that are medical and Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, and they come and they come and they come, and that can get overwhelming. But it doesn't need to win. Because all I need to do is take the next right action. But I can't get to that until I get myself pulled together. Some deep breathing, some going within, some mantras, all is well, everything is working for my highest good. And at this moment, out of this so-called problem, only good will come, and I'm safe. And then if you're still really frazzled, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope that helps you. It always does me, and having used it a couple of times this week, I thought, this is what I want to talk about, because there are plenty of things to set us off in whatever way that we will feel an insecurity. But we can be safe and secure. I like those words already. I hear hymns coming for next Thursday. Safe and secure. And in case you forgot, I have 5 things I want to share. You are a soul. wearing a human disguise. You are here to remember who you are. The third, what you love is the key to your purpose. Number 4, your challenges are meant to trigger your growth. Number 5, there are no mistakes, only lessons. When we get that all put together, we begin to feel and to understand our passion and purpose. And then it's our duty to give it away, because that was why we were sent here in the first place. Now, join me, if you would, in the most serene of prayers, one that I have prayed for decades in the 12-step world, the very beautiful Serenity Prayer. As you understand that word, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And it is so. Amen. And as we always say, onward in love and caregiving. Namaste. God bless. And I so look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.